And I got Papa here with me, kicking back on the terrace. Well, we don't have one. A terrace. Just the front yard. So, someone wrote to me on my channel and said that this year he didn't get a deer in D8. He says he usually gets one during the bow season. I don't know what spot, because D8's got a lot of areas. And I've been to a lot of them, but not all of them. I'm gonna write to him again and just ask him where. If he's in the lower areas, the 5,000, the 6,000 feet, because I'm usually around the 8,000 to the 9,000 feet. And he said that this year he didn't get anything, so he was disappointed. So welcome to the club. So I wrote to him and I said, well, he said, oh, if you're gonna be up there, I'll probably see you, because he seen my truck. And I wrote back and I said, well, I'm looking for new areas. I don't think I'm going to be up there again. I really don't think I'm going to go up there again. I started looking at the D 12, 11, 13, 14. 14, it's up in the San Bernardino Mountains. I went there a long time ago in the early 80s with a friend of mine. We didn't see squat. There was a lot of guys just sitting around with guns. We went up the road and we see a guy here and we see a guy there. And they were just sitting and waiting for something to go by there. But the visibility is better than the 8. You can see further, so you might see a deer. And then also looked into D13, where a friend of mine also, he said he caught a deer. We went to the actual spot where he caught it, and he got lucky because it was pretty close to the main road. And I told him, that was a fluke. That's not gonna happen twice. Don't think so. And then there was a group of Mexicans that they were hunting in D13, and this big tall guy, he was saying in Spanish that he was back there hunting again, but last time he was there, he got bit by a rattler, and he was in the hospital for a whole week. And I said, man, that sends shivers up my spine, because usually what I do when I find a spot, well, you see my videos, I sit down on the ground. I'm not up on the tree or a rock or anything. I'm on the ground. I've never seen a snake up there in any place, because the snakes, I don't know if this is true or not, that at 8,000 feet or 8,500 feet, there are no snakes. I am guessing about that. I'm not sure. But D13, it's low hills, semi-desert, and that's where the snakes are. And this guy got bit. So I said to myself, that shot the hell out of that. No D13 for me. Because you have to sit down and you gotta hide in the brush. So then if I'm doing that, I'm looking around. So I'm sitting around in the ground, and you gotta hide between the brushes, and you gotta look. Now imagine you're sitting in the ground, now you're thinking there's a snake coming up behind me or in front of me and bite you. So I don't know. I might just sit on the quad. Just pull up somewhere and just sit on the quad up high from the ground. So I have to go check out those places and see how, there's some good views. I saw some videos on people. There's some nice views, open areas. they can see some does walking around, and that's what I'm looking for. Open areas. I am not hunting the trees anymore. It's a waste of time. It's a way you have to do a lot of hiking, a lot of walking. You know, you're surrounded by a thick forest. What are the chances of a buck walking past within 50 yards? It's gonna be none. He's gonna smell you. He's gonna hear you. So has to be open. I gotta go to check out D9. That is oak vegetation and brush, oak trees and brush, and you might, you get to see something a little bit further away. But up in that forest is way too dense. They haven't cut a single tree in years. So we'll see if I find a better area, and then next year I can pick a spot, and those spots you can buy the tag over the counter. You don't have to go and draw or anything like that. And as far as backpacking is concerned, I think I'm done with it. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I like doing it, but not by myself. There's no point. I saw a video of guys that they were hauling a deer. It was a big deer, and there were 3 guys hauling this thing out, and it was huge. And I don't want to kill a little thin, young deer. I want to kill a mature deer that lived this life. That's my way of thinking. I don't want to kill a young buck because it's legal and it's got the little forky, horns and that. No, it has to be a mature deer. So if it's a mature deer back in the wilderness that I had to backpack in and backpack out, and I killed something like that, how am I going to bring it up on myself? That's always been the issue. I talked to a guy about my age, and he's got the same problems. He's got the same issues. He says, well, why shoot something that's in another canyon, on another hill, when I can't get to him? Because he's worn out and he doesn't have the legs to go down the ravine and then go up the other side and grab the deer and then bring him down and bring him up. It's easier to drag him down, but not to drag him up a hill. Hell no. 150, 180 pounds? No. You need minimum two guys to do it. Minimum. So instead of changing my ethics, I'm going to change my strategy. No wilderness hunt, no backpack hunt. If I cannot reach it with my quad, I'm not going to shoot it. Simple as that. Took Papa for a walk this morning, and it's not enough. He wants to run. Took him running yesterday. He's got a lot of energy. By the way, I am thinking of acquiring a new small gun, and I was looking at the Keltec 2000. They have it in 9mm and 40mm. 40mm hits harder. I don't know exactly the ballistics, how fast it goes and all that. But with that gun that folds out and it becomes a small little rifle that shoots 9mm or 40 if you decide to get a 40, or if I decide to get a 40. You can actually hit something at 100 yards, 150 yards. You can put an optic on it, that flips to the side. And I'm kind of, when they first came out, they looked kind of funky. They were green, and it didn't really impress me. But now the second generation, it looks a lot better. It looks like it's better made. It's got steel sights instead of a little piece of plastic tongue that they put at the end, which was ridiculous. The tongue sight heats up and it's going to move with the temperature. That was a ridiculous idea to do that. But now they have steel sights in front and back. I think the back is also steel. But I don't care about the peep sight. I like the idea that you can put a red dot on it, and you can flip it back on top and use it. And it's a better, more accurate gun than if you're using a handgun. Let's say that, and actually, there's some people using that as a truck gun. You have it on board your vehicle, because the way things are going with these Middle Eastern situation, the war and all the killing, and then there's a lot of Arabs over here. They're pissed off, and Palestinians, and they got we everybody knows that we got sleeper cells over here. If one day one of these nut jobs decides to stand on the street and start shooting everybody, you need to have something with you so you can shoot back, protect yourself and your family. That's going to be the reality. I hope not, but there's a few people I know that they have weapons on board. I don't carry anything right now, but I'm gonna have to, because anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. And the police is gonna show up when they're gonna see your body. That's the only time the police shows up, when the shooting already stopped. It already happened a couple of years. I think it was a couple of years ago. That two Middle Easterns. I don't remember. It's just Middle Eastern. The guy and his wife, dressed in that black hooded thing with the face. I don't know what they call it. Burqa. I think it's called burqa. They went into this government office. Was it an office, or I think it was a school? I don't remember now. And they started shooting up the place, and they killed a few people. And they went in with AR-15s. So you need to have something in your vehicle just in case. My friend that fumigates, he takes a small gun with him, because he goes into the bad areas to fumigate houses, businesses. Now the way that the robberies are going on, they're walking into stores, they're walking into liquor stores and 7-Elevens and everywhere, and they just come in with a gun and give me your money, give me your money. If nothing happens, there's no retaliation, they're gonna keep doing it. When it gets dangerous to them, then they're gonna think about it twice. So that's one reason I was thinking, oh, that's a nice Jeep. I was thinking about getting that Keltec 2000. I looked at the Smith and Wesson, which I think it's a better made gun. It just is a little bulky, and it flips to the side. It has a pocket in the back that can hold. Well, it's not a pocket; it's more like a holster. It holds 2 magazines, 24 rounds each, and then you have one because being that it folds sideways, you can have a magazine in the gun. You can have a 17 or a 20. So if you have that in the vehicle, when you grab that gun, automatically you grabbing close to 60 rounds right there, handy, ready to be used. But it's a little bulky, it's a little fat, the way they made it. It's very nice piece. But I want something flat, something easy to store away, put it in a bag or something, and it folds down to 16 inches, I think, 16 and a half inches. So I'm considering on that, and I was gonna go today, but I got kind of lazy. I might still go and talk to this guy I know and say, okay, what do they go for, and can we order one, and that kind of, just ask a few questions just to see if they're supposed to go under $500 in some places. Here in California, I don't know, they might go for more. Because if you have a lot of people are carrying Glocks and Smith and Wesson, whatever it is, it's a handgun. You have to be pretty good shooting with a handgun to hit anything beyond 40 yards. Uh, I don't practice that much because ammo is expensive, and I haven't been in the range for the handgun. I've been in the range for years. I go to the range for the rifle when it's just before the season opens, so I can go make sure my gun is on the money, my rifle. But I don't go with a handgun and practice and practice and practice. I don't do that. It's expensive. So yeah, I was just considering on that, and I might get it. I might get it. Uh, the only thing is the practically the whole gun is made out of plastic, but it's that hard plastic. I don't know if it's polyethylene or I don't know, but it's lightweight, and 9 millimeter doesn't really kick. I saw a video, guy shooting a 40 caliber, and you know what would be really cool is they make that in a 357. That would be the ultimate, a 357 Kel-Tec. I think I might call them and say, hey, make one for me. Oh yeah, Papa, you found that, huh? This little nest just came off the tree. It's empty. So yeah, I think a 357 Kel-Tec will be great. It's a good caliber. Got good punch. Better range than a 9 millimeter, and a 40. It's better than the 40. 357 Magnum. I don't know if they thought of it, but that would be a pretty good backup gun for even the cops. They can have that in their vehicle. But everybody's concerned with what's going on, and we're getting involved in this. The United States is getting involved in this Middle Eastern thing, and the United States getting involved in all these foreign wars. Yeah, they try to help them here and try to help them there, but the mentality is that, like the saying goes, the friend of my enemy is my enemy, because we're helping. Of course, Russia doesn't like the United States is sending weapons to Ukraine and helping them, and what they're hoping for is for the United States to rein out and say, hey, we can't send you any more stuff. We're done, because now we're helping Israel, and they're going to cut Ukraine, and that's what he's waiting. I think he even mentioned that. He says they can't handle a double war unless they go into full production, and that's what's going on right now. So they're hoping for the United States to. They know they're not going to cancel the help, but they're going to minimize the amount. They're going to send less and less, because now ships being sent to the Mediterranean and help the problem with the Middle East and everything else. All right, guys, I won't let you go. I'm gonna finish my stogie. See you on the next one. Later.